What is up, guys? Just recorded the vlog. I'm back for 9.20 patch notes. In typical K Mur fashion, this is just going to be super low key. We're going to go over the patch notes, what happened, kind of a quick take, a first reaction as far as what impacts it might have on the meta. And yeah, this one was super small, and that was by design, according to Mortdog from Riot. It's going to be shorter than normal. So with that, let's get started. So first big news is they start this whole thing off by, as we approach the end of set 1, and balance adjustments and follow up on items and systems to prepare for set 2. So I think that set 2 is probably going to be coming in 9.21. At the latest, probably 9.22. So yeah, a couple things here as far as the leveling changes. The amount of experience from 4 to 5 is now 10 instead of 12, or will be when the patch goes live. And to level from 8 to 9 is now 66, down from 70. Nothing too significant here. I think that 9 becomes, more valuable just because of what you're getting for your money, which brings us to the tier drop rates. They've increased them for level 8 and level 9. 9 is more accessible now, and specifically we have a 3% higher chance to get tier 5 units. So that's pretty cool. We lost the 3% from tier 3 units, which could make it somewhat weaker, but I think we all want those tier 5 units, so I'm gonna stick with it. This is just a buff across the board for everyone pretty much at level 9. I know a lot of people don't go level 9, but I actually have been trying to push into 9 a lot with my Imperial Knights, so I actually really like this change in conjunction with the experience level changes. Level 8 did get a boost as well, from 5 to 8% on those tier 5 units. So you could also say there's not that much more value. I don't know. We're going up 7% from 8 to 9 either way. We just have a higher likelihood of hitting those tier 5s. From 7 to 8 is huge now, though, because it did go from 2 to 5%, and now it goes from 2 to 8%. So that's pretty big, honestly. Some item changes. Deathblade, it was pretty lackluster. No one used it as far as I could see. Now we're going to start with 1 stack, which is plus 15 attack damage. We'll see if that does much. It still seems like it'd be a little weak, but I could see this being strong on a very fast attacker, maybe like a Kaisa, something like that. Maybe I've used it on Draven, with some decent results if he has like a Rage Blade. Biggest thing on this patch by far, I think, is the Frozen Heart duration is being reduced from 4 seconds to 1 second, which is huge. So essentially you pretty much have to be next to the unit to keep it slowed down, which honestly is probably how it should be anyways, an aura of sorts. This way it's not directly competing with Iceborne Gauntlet, and 4 seconds is just crazy. So I think that this reduces the strength of this item for assassins in particular. Everyone else, as far as putting it on your front line, I think this stays about the same strength. So this is a direct hit to assassins. Infinity Edge gets their crit damage reduced from 150 to 125%. We all knew that was coming. Quicksilver has its cooldown reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. This is really cool. I think that this is going to have a place in a more like utility type assassin. I've already put it on Katarina in that Imperial Knights combination. Units like that, maybe a Karthus where they start their ult. If they get stunned, then their channeling stops. Anything you have to channel your ultimate, and when you get stunned, it would stop. That's how we're gonna put that on. Thieves' Gloves lowered the average quality of item combinations. That's probably good. I don't know if this means that they raised the threshold on the levels. Mortdog released a full spreadsheet of what item combinations were possible at like tier 1 through tier 4. They didn't provide an item threshold at that point, but I think, for instance, I think it was like tier 3 happened around like level 6. So I don't know if the same quality of item combinations are possible, they just happen later, or if just across the board they lowered the average or the quality of item combinations. Sounds like it's the latter, but I'm not sure. This is kind of inconclusive rhetoric here. So with assassins, they lowered the tier 1 bonus from 75% crit damage and 10% crit chance to 75% crit damage and 5% crit chance. You know, again, this is kind of just a direct hit to the wild assassins combination. It seems like maybe ninja assassins as well. 5% crit chance, I don't think is the end of the world, especially for the carry units on those compositions, Akali and Rengar, who already had some crit chance passively, not passively, but instilled in their ability. So I don't think this is a huge hit to the comp itself. I don't know. I think that it's a small nerf, and again, you know, that's kind of what Mort Dog said this whole patch was going to be, is just more minor tweaks. So I think this is in line with that. The Guardian armor bonus is getting a buff. The 35 armor bonus that it was providing was back when Pantheon was super strong, and we're not seeing so much Pantheon anymore. It's not like an automatic, you know, plug into your composition. So they're actually buffing it up to 45, which if you double stack Guardians is a buff from 70 to 90 armor. So that's actually pretty big. We could see Splash of Guardians coming back in some compositions, so look out for that. It could mean too that we're going to see a splash of dragons as well, just because Pantheon's more valuable. We could also see more A-Souls or Shyvanas being thrown in as well. Gunslinger's getting a buff. We all knew this was coming, but we thought it was going to be 135 instead of the 123 that it now is. It looks like they actually made it 124. So it's not super strong like people thought it was going to be, but 4 extra shots is pretty big. So we'll have to keep an eye out on Gunslingers this patch as well. I don't know that it's going to change a lot. It probably would make the Blade Masters Gunslingers combo a little bit better, especially if you can throw in like a Jinx carry there. I don't know. Wild got a nerf here from 12% attack speed per stack to 10%. This is a decently large nerf, but realistically, this is just bringing it back to the level it was before they added the additional utility of not missing at 4 out of 4 wild. So this isn't too surprising. And then Knights also got a small buff, or sorry, a small nerf here. At the tier 3 bonus, it is reduced from 65 down to 60. So it blocks 5 damage less than it used to. I don't know if this is like huge by any means. Knights are probably still going to be super strong, especially because they go really well with Imperials. But 60 block damage is still pretty good. So I think Knights are going to stay strong. So here's something here too. As far as the Gunslinger bonus goes, or the Gunslinger buff, champions that are being changed. Let me skip around a little bit. We have Aatrox's armor is going up from 25 to 35. Fiora's health is going from 400 to 450. Gangplank's attack damage is going from 55 to 60. And then Lucian's spell damage is going from 100, 225, 350 to 125, 250, 375. So just kind of a flat 25 damage raise. So Gunslingers and Blade Masters, I think, is definitely going to be stronger because they're buffing not only the Gunslinger trait, but also the Blade Masters that you might be using in that combination. Aatrox is going to give you a better front line here. We saw armor on Graves being increased 2 patches ago. So I feel like Gunslingers should feel better with this patch for sure, especially because they're buffing some of these Blade Masters as well. Besides those ones that I pointed out, we have Akali's attack speed is being nerfed from 0.85 to 0.8. Kaisa is getting a buff on both aspects of her ability. Her attack speed is going from 30%, 60%, 90% to 50%, 75%, 100%, which is pretty sweet. That is a 20% buff on 1-star Kaisa, 15% on 2-star, and 10% on 3-star. I don't know who was 3-starring Kaisa, so who knows if 90% was good, but we know 100% is good. So I'm definitely interested to see the Kaisa builds that come out. And then her shield is also raised from 3, 6, 900 to 4, 7, 1000. I know that the sorcerer buff and attack power, or sorry, ability power, is going to be increasing that shield just by the way that ability power works in TFT, and I've seen some cool Void, Brawler, Sork, Splash of Ranger happen with Kaisa. You know, only time will tell if that's something that will continue. Leona's HP was buffed from 750 to 800, so that's another buff to the Guardians. Poppy's HP was reduced from 800 to 700, which, you know, that's a nerf to Knights, of course. Somewhat significant. I think it reduces the early game strength of Knights, so you can't necessarily do 4 Knights plus a hyper carry or 4 Knights plus your item holder, whoever that may be. But overall, I think that Poppy will still be relatively strong. That may have been a harsh nerf, but we'll see. And then Volibear's attack speed was increased from 0.6 to 0.65. So Volibear, slowly but surely, is getting up to a point where he can do some stuff again. And I'm happy about that. I was a big Volibear try-hard. Finally got good and stopped forcing him, but as soon as he's viable again, you'll see him on my board. So yeah, that's 9.20, guys. Like I said, there's not too much going on, which makes for a super easy video. You know, I do apologize for the lack of TFT content. If you guys aren't watching the vlog, I did make mention in there that I was gone for Twitch Rivals. I'm really focused on actually doing the ranked gameplay, but at the same time, I'm going to be increasing my stream time just by playing ranked while on stream. So I think that overall, you guys should see more of me if you follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Nonetheless, I think you should see more of me here as well, because I should have more ready to edit content because I'm streaming more often as well. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. 9.20 looks super interesting, but I think everyone is very excited for set 2, and I will definitely be putting out a video as soon as the champions are leaked for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.